Hello guys, welcome to today's video. So today we'll be discussing the current affairs and the general knowledge for the month of January 2021. So starting with today's, recently a philanthropist in India who is Mr. Ravi Gaikwad, he has been awarded the Nelson Mandela World Humanitarian Award. So you have to remember Nelson Mandela Award is a very big award and Mr. Ravi Gaikwad won it. And recently our Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare Mr. Harshvardhan has been nominated by the Global Alliance for Vaccine. You can remember the full form GAVI, which stands for Global Alliance for Vaccines Immunization as a member. It's a Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization. So mostly many countries are there, and from India, our member is Mr. Harshvardhan. The famous football player Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo has been awarded the Player of the Century award. If you can remember, Player of the Century. It is given for the football players. Next, there are many of the ethanol gases which are produced. So there are different types of ethanol. So like 1G, 2G, 3G, these are biofuels. So the 1G ethanol is actually produced from the edible seeds, sugar cane, among others. So this is the 1G ethanol. This is how it is produced. While some of the 2G biofuels which are non-edible oilseeds used in cooking oil and residue. Whereas there is another form of biofuels which is a 3G, they use the industrial waste and municipal solid waste. So these are some of the biofuels and how they are manufactured. So you can remember 1G is simple from the eating which are edible seeds, sugar beet, whereas 2G is from the non-edible used for cooking, agriculture, residue, and 3G biofuels are based on the industrial waste and the municipal solid waste. And recently, Indian government they have celebrated the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose birthday, which falls on January 23rd as the Parakram Divas. So now from now onwards, every January 23rd will be celebrated as Parakram Divas. So this you have to remember. There was a wide publicity made by our Mr. Prime Minister Narendra Modi regarding this Parakram Divas. So in the month of February, Adani Group they have signed a concession agreement with the AAI for Jaipur, Guwahati, and Trivandrum airports for now. So the concession period is for 50 years. So like it is done under PPP mode. Earlier Adani Group had actually emerged the highest bidder for the 6 airports, namely Lucknow, Mangalore, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Guwahati, and Trivandrum. For now, only 2 or 3 airports have been taken over, and remaining they will take slowly in a phased manner. Next, recently the Telecom Regulatory of India, that is TRAI, there are certain charges which every network provider or the user has to pay for the interconnect usage charges. So earlier it was 6 paisa, but now from the January 1st, 2021, it has been made to 0. So this is a big move. So initially, you remember earlier they used to in between they used to charge 6 paisa per call, but now it has also made to 0 IOC. So prior to this move, Telecom had been made 6 paisa per IOC, but now it has been made 0 by the TRAI. This is an important point. Recently USA elections have been happened, and the US Congress they have won the elections, and like Mr. Joe Biden is a president of the America, and the vice president is the Kamala Harris. So these are some of the key names to remember. Niti Aayog they have actually done a small survey, and their experts found that in the time of pandemic, which is COVID-19, among many countries, China has been the biggest gainer. So China has grown in its economy, and it is the only country which has gone up its economy, whereas many countries have been downfallen. So this you can remember. So Niti Aayog experts have told that. Next, recently there's the first solar RO service, electric RO service. It is being introduced by the Kerala in the year 2021-22. So this is basically a amphibious water bus service will also be launched. So they are planning many things. So solar electrical vehicles, amphibious water bus, and as planned run barge service for cargo movement and high-speed tourist services. These are some of the key terms. We did not go much into detail. Just remember that these all belong to the Kerala state. That is sufficient. So prior to the Joe Biden's becoming the president, Donald Trump was the president. So recently that Donald Trump has been impeached once again. So now he is the first US president to be impeached twice. This does not happen regularly, so this is a key point to remember. And recently our commission, which is the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, they have developed a Khadi Prakritik paint. So it is being developed by this commission. The features of this paint are it is eco-friendly, it is non-toxic, which is also has been claimed to have the antifungal and antibacterial properties. The one of the main feature of this is the paint is based on the cow dung as a main ingredient. Normally all are chemical, but this is more of a organic thing which is developed from the cow dung and it is having the anti-fungal and antibacterial properties. And now it has also been given with ISB, which is the Indian Bureau of Indian Standards. In social media, many platforms are coming, and there are one more social network which is known as Parler, Parler. So many of the technology companies, big companies like Apple, Amazon, and Google, they have suspended the social networks. In India, we have not heard about this, but this is a key term that social network Parler has been suspended because they are not able to enough measures to contain inciting violence. So anything related to violence nowadays, many of the social, I mean, social networking laws are also coming so that anything related to violence will not be promoted. So it's a big move. And recently, Indian Army has signed a contract with the Idea Force. This is a company. So they will be delivering the high altitude version of the Switch unmanned aerial vehicles UAV, UAV are unmanned aerial vehicles. These are basically the drones. So UAVs are the drones. So these will be used in the high altitude. So the company is the Idea Force. This you have to remember. It's a Mumbai-based private company. This is also a key term to remember. Recently one more scheme has been announced by Kerala government. Kerala governor, with Mr. Arif Muhammad Khan, has launched the Vedic Internet Foundation Ambition Scheme, which is one school, one IAS. So this you can remember, one school and one IAS. It's for Kerala government. So under this, they will be teaching some of the poor students so that they can also compete at the highest level for the post of IAS exams. Next, bilateral exercise are common between countries. So there's a new exercise which is being conducted in the January, which is the desert night exercise. It was conducted between the Indian Air Force and the airspace, French Air Force rather. So this you can remember the name, Desert Night Exercise. So it is between the Indian Air Force and the French Air Force. Next is a dragon fruit. So dragon fruit is a variety of the wild cactus species. It's mostly found in America and it is known as pitaya in those regions. But then in India there was a controversy where the Gujarat government state proposed to rename the dragon fruit as Kamalam. So this you can remember. Dragon fruits. Next, coming to the vehicle sales, Japan Toyota Motor Corp, it has now become the first world's top seller automaker. So earlier Germany's Volkswagen was the number one, but now Japan's Toyota is the first and the Germany's Volkswagen is the second in the vehicle sales as per the 2020. One more important information related to climate change is, USA they have rejoined the Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement is an important agreement based on the climate change to fight the climate change. All the countries came together. So America, when Donald Trump was there, they withdrew their membership. But now once again, after the rejoining of the President, Mr. Joe Biden, they have again rejoined the Paris Agreement. It's a huge move towards the climate change. This you have to remember. So the Indian scientists they have developed a first multi-wavelength space satellite. You can just remember that it's the first multi-wavelength space satellite of India, which is known as AstroSat. Knowing this is sufficient. We will not go much into what it is used for and all those things. Coming to cricket, BCCI, Board of Cricket Council in India. So for the first time, they will not be conducting the Ranji Trophy in 87 years, as it has opted for the Vijay Hazare Trophy. So this is the first time that Ranji Trophy, which is a domestic cricket in India, it has not been conducted in the last year. So this you can remember. And recently, a new stadium was inaugurated at the Sardar, which is known as Sardar Patel Stadium, Ahmedabad, which is now the largest in terms of the capacity in India. So in that, the Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy was being played from 26th to 31st of January. The key terms remember are the Sardar Patel Stadium, Ahmedabad is now the largest in India. Earlier it was the Kolkata Stadium, now it is the Ahmedabad Stadium. We all know that the fighter jet aircraft Rafale, which is French based, so many of the aircrafts have come. I think more than 11 are there in India, and the only Rafale squadron, which is a group of aircrafts, is only in Ambala. So this you can remember. Next, recently coming to the Aero India show, the 13th edition of Aero India show, it was held in Bengaluru, Karnataka from the February 3rd to 2021. So it's basically a Aero show. This you can remember. And recently, you know, in Chandigarh, a new dog park has been proposed. This is the first of its kind in North India. So you can remember this. A new dog park has to come up in Chandigarh Sector 42. North India is the first of its kind. Moving to railways, recently this Sir M. Vishwarashwaraya Railway Terminal at Baipanhalli. So this is the location in Bengaluru, Baipanhalli, and the small station is that is the Sir M. Vishwarashwaraya Railway Terminal. It is in Bengaluru. It is the country's first largest air conditioned rail concourse. So this you can imagine, fully air conditioned. So which will give a passenger and airport like experience. So you can remember that this is the first of its kind in India, fully air conditioned. Moving to other states news, Mission Bhagirath is one of the flagship programs of the Telangana government, which was very popular, and it aimed to provide a safe drinking water to every household in Telangana. So now what they have done is now they have also launched their own packaged drinking water. So that was a scheme, Mission Bhagirath, but now under this scheme, they are now also selling the packaged drinking water. So this you can remember. This became very famous in Telangana, Mission Bhagirath. Next, coming to telecom, in India currently Jio, we have Jio, Airtel and many other service providing 4G services. The future is the 5G. So in India, the Bharti Airtel has become the first telecom service provider to successfully demonstrate the 5G services. So Airtel has shown that they have the capability to provide the 5G services, and it was done in Hyderabad. So this is a big move towards the 5G service. Next, government of India have been planning many tools, and as a part of digital India, They have released a one tool which is known as a Tejas, TJS. So it's a virtual intelligence tool that will extract the critical information from data to make meaningful information. So this information will be used for making decisions and improving efficiency in government services. So you can remember this name. Tejas is a virtual intelligence tool. So that will help the government in taking the decisions and it will improve the efficiency. So these are some of the important current affairs and the general knowledge for the month of January 2021. If you have liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos. And thank you for watching.